Hello there, this is Mr. G, your positive energy. In this video we're gonna make flowers. We're gonna make tea from wildflowers. So here are the flowers, I picked them already. But first we go into the forest where I picked the flowers. And then after we're gonna prepare them and gonna make tea. I make this tea for spiritual growth, for a healthy body and for detoxing. So please join me on this video. Look, I'm in the forest now, and here you can see these flowers. Now, I don't know how you pronounce the name in English. I know the Dutch name of these flowers. And they only flower like a very short time in spring. I think you can find these all over Europe. I'm not sure if you can find them in the United States or somewhere else, but these flowers, I drink a lot of tea from these flowers, like in 2013 when I was recovering from my marijuana addiction. And of course with marijuana I smoked a lot of tobacco with this marijuana. I had an addiction like for 21 years and I just stopped at once in 2013 with my spiritual awakening. So what I did is, like these flowers, my guide was telling me to drink a lot of tea from these flowers. Now I find in a book about these flowers that they're very good for taking out the nicotine from the tobacco from your body. I'm gonna pick these flowers and I can drink some tea from it at home. Before you start making tea from wild flowers and plants, it's very important that you know what kind of flowers or plants you're dealing with. So I use this book or any kind of book that looks like this. Now these days you can just Google any plant or any flower online. So you don't need a book like this, but for me it's handy because it says exactly where I can use the plant for, what kind of plant it is. I had to learn about these kinds of plants and flowers in school before, so I know about them, but still there's so many different species, so it's handy for me also to have a book like this. But it's up to you. You can just Google now the name of the plant or flower, and you can just see online also if it is poisonous or if it's dangerous or not, how to use it, stuff like that. Now I looked it up, and this is the plant we are dealing with. This is the flower. It's very funny species because it only flowers and grows a very short time in spring. And first the flower starts to grow, and then after, when the flower dies, then the leaves will start growing. But for now I will use only the flower. And this is the name of the flower. This is the name in Latin, so you can just search it online if you can find it anywhere around where you live. This flower is not dangerous at all, not poisonous, so you can just take whatever you like. I know, because here are the flowers. What I'm gonna do is we're gonna put the flowers in here. We're gonna cut them into little pieces, because then everything that's inside that we need will come out very good, and then we're gonna cook them in water. So this is around 60 gram that I picked from outside, and that will go on 2 liters of water. You can use this plant for many different things, but one of them is when you have a nicotine addiction. So when you have a nicotine addiction, this plant or this flower, when you drink tea from it, it will help to get the nicotine out of your body. For me, I don't have this problem anymore at the moment because I stopped smoking already for 5.5 years. But there are other reasons at the moment why I have to use this flower. So at the moment I just use it because on intuition. I just have a feeling that I need to do it. A few days ago I already drank my first tea from other flowers, same species. It gave me a very calming feeling, and also for the bloodstream. It's very good for the bloodstream and for the blood itself. So I think this is why I drink the flower tea at the moment. But if you have a nicotine problem, this flower can really help you out. And also good to know that when you start cutting these flowers, you don't cut in your finger like I did like a few days ago. Uh, yeah, this stuff can happen, but it's not really clever to do. Like I said, only cut the flower, don't cut your finger. See, I just cut them in very small pieces. And then we're gonna boil them in water. And we make a very, very nice, delicious, fresh tea. It is good to know that you know which flowers to take, because some of them can be toxic and you don't want to have toxic flowers. Now some plants and flowers are toxic, but are good to use in some kind of way if you really need them. So then you should really know how toxic they are, how much flower you should take and how you take them. But you have to be really careful with that. So don't underestimate Mother Nature. When you take her with respect and you follow the laws, then Mother Nature can help. Man, I like this so much. Ooh, flowers. And always when I find some small insects that are still in there, yeah, I cannot check every flower for any insect that is in there, because yeah, most insects are so small. But if I find them, I take them out and I put them outside again. I see this little bug and I think, oh man, he's also on his journey to life, and why can I have a life and he cannot have not? So sometimes it's also good to mix other species. So like when I was in 2013, I just was in the beginning of my whole spiritual awakening. And I really had to purify myself from many addictions. And yeah, a lot of these plants helped me a lot with that. So I went outdoor, it was in spring. So all the plants were just growing and flowering. And I had my book and I just start picking them. Also with my intuition, I have my guide. She always tells me what I can take, what I cannot take. But it's very important that you have a very good relationship with your guide and that you know how to listen to your guide when you do that. Because there were a few moments that I didn't know the flower, I couldn't find them in the book, and my guide told me, yes, you can take this flower and it's good for you. So I would drink tea from that flower. Other moments my guide would tell me, don't do it, don't take these flowers, it's not good for you, you know. Even from some of these flowers later on, I find out that they were poisonous, that I took, that my guide said, yes, you can take these flowers. And they're really poisonous. Even online I find a lot of the same stories about these plants, like don't take them, don't drink tea from these flowers because they're poisonous. But I know it was good for purifying myself on that moment with these flowers. And I didn't get sick of it, nothing actually, no headaches, no stomach pain, nothing, just very good stuff for me. Now on this moment that I don't need it anymore, my guide would tell me don't take them anymore. So these are things, if you listen to your guides, and you know you can trust your guides, whatever they tell you, and you can recognize when it is your guide or when it's not your guide, then I can recommend to do this with your guide. If that is not the case, then I would say, yeah, be careful, you know, because it's always up to you. It's always your own responsibility. But do what feels good for you. And now I only take this flower, but before I was also like mixing a lot of species together. Like sometimes I even made a tea from, let's say, like 6 or 7 different plants and flowers together. Other times just 3 or 4. And it works pretty good. It's also good for some species for calming you down, for making you better for sleep. But for me, most of the time it's like a detox program I make from it. And the year after that I took all these flowers, like in 2014, 2015, it changed. I stopped taking flowers like this from outside, like outdoors plants, and I started to drink more teas. So I bought like green tea, like white tea, sometimes black tea, depends on what kinds of tea it is. Most of the time Chinese tea, but sometimes from Thailand or from Malaysia, or I would buy like flowers like this, but then from shops. So online you can find a lot, but what I really like is if you have a little shop in town and they are selling species like this, like dried, and you can make tea from them. Yeah, that's very, very good also. And it's the yellow color. It's the 3rd chakra. It's the color of the sun. Orange, yellow. It's the color of joy and happiness. Of feeling good. Before I would always do this with marijuana. Before I would grow marijuana and I would smoke marijuana and everything from marijuana, but I don't use marijuana anymore. And it's also nice to go into nature and to ground yourself, to be into nature, to contact nature, to contact with nature, and search for plants and flowers. So then you're doing more in nature than just taking a walk, and you will notice how many different species and flowers there are. So just take a little bit more. All these nice flowers. Now these are fresh flowers. If you want to save the flowers for a longer time, you can dry them also, and then you can use them later. So now it's ready. It's around 60 grams, and now we're gonna boil it in water. So now we're gonna put the water. This is 1 liter, and we take 1 more. So 1 more. Now we have it in cold water, and we're gonna boil them. And when the water starts to boil, then we cool them down for around 10 minutes. Put the flowers a little bit down. Yeah, that looks really nice. A little bit more. And now it's ready to cook them. Put this on top and just wait for a while. Now you can see the water is boiling. Look, and now we have to... Ooh, it's really boiling. But that's a good thing. So now we have to cool them down. Now it is ready. I only hope that, because the boiling went way too fast, like you could see. If you do it yourself at home, make sure the boiling goes more slowly. That is better. But I hope the tea still be good. I'm gonna see. Make sure you take out everything. See, you can press, and then all the tea comes out, all the water, and this is what is left. And this is what is left from the flowers. And here is the tea. It's not just normal tea, it's very strong. And to be honest with you, the other day it was more a yellow color. And now it got more a little bit like a yellow brown. If you make tea from wildflowers, first try it yourself before you give it to other people. When you bless your tea, you make contact with all the healthy and spiritual elements. So bless your tea before you start to drink it. So this is a way to make your own tea from wildflowers and plants. And it will help you to detox. This one is for the bloodstream. Very good. If you really doubt what I'm doing here, I also give this stuff to my mother, so it's just that you know. I'm going to dry the rest of the flowers for another day. If you have anything to say about this video, if you have any comments or any questions, please let me know. If I can help you to make some wildflower tea for yourself, just let me know. Send me a message, send comments down below the video here. And thank you all for watching. Till the next video. Bye bye. Just a quick look on the drawing that I'm working on. Rebirth of the soul. And it's all about the diamond grid. And yeah, you can see I still have a lot of work to do. But the colors are already getting there.